Well, a little while ago I showed some of the singing bowls that we acquired for the collection, and I was just absolutely enthralled by them. And since that time, dare I say, we've acquired a few more. So the two I have here are called stand-in bowls. So once I've just sort of done a little soundscape, I'll actually show you whereby I'm literally standing in the bowl. Ideally, you want someone else to strike the bowls as you're standing so that you can really concentrate on the feeling. So I may just have to do that myself for now. But they're just extraordinary. And just to be clear, you know, I'm using these bowls to explore sounds as opposed to talking about sound therapy, and that's really important to make that distinction. So all I have here are obviously the two wonderful stand-in bowls. One is etched and one is plain, so they're both from Tibet. And then I have a little collection of the smallest two sizes of the Glennie's garbage cymbals made by Sabian, which I absolutely love. They're very effective if you just place them on the floor like this, or obviously put them on a stand, or use them in different ways. And then I have two wonderful bell-like cymbals, which are just so beautiful, made by GM Designs. They make the most extraordinary kind of sound sculpture type of objects. I mean, it's hard to know whether they're cymbals or gongs or sound sculptures or whatever they are. They're just incredibly beautiful and worth exploring. And then, of course, Sławek Janus's wonderful Sailophone, which is part of the Waterphone family, and the first ever Hyperstellar, Evelyn Glennie Hyperstellar double Waterphone. So ideally this should be on a stand, but for the purposes of this, it's on the floor. So this is just an improvised soundscape, and who knows where this will go. Oh, and I should just also mention this wonderful instrument here, which is called an Infinity Gong. Can you believe a gong is a pipe? And this is made by Schlagwerk. Really, really wonderful. So we can add this to the mix as well. Well, as I mentioned earlier, these two wonderful bowls are called stand-in bowls. And, you know, most musicians know what it feels like to feel the vibrations of their instruments and of musicians around them. And certainly with the myriad of percussion instruments, you know, you get all sorts of feelings through the body. But I don't think I've ever quite experienced something that is so incredibly rich and prolonged through the body. So now normally I would, you know, be in my bare feet or something, but it's a tad chilly outside, so I'm going to keep my socks on, and I think I've got tights and leggings and goodness knows whatever else there on me. So I'm just going to stand in here. Ideally you do want someone else to strike the bowl in 4 different places, but for now I'll just strike it a couple of times perhaps. But what I've found so far is that the sound just seems to waft its way up the legs and come to about the waist area. It really is extraordinary. You have to strike it, you know, quite strongly. That kind of feeling really does remain. So even although the sound might be disappearing, somehow that vibration really sticks to the limbs. It's quite interesting. It's as though you're walking into a gourmet restaurant and you're just experiencing this extraordinary sound meal. The richness is unbelievable. So I think it's worth, you know, standing in these bowls with your bare feet, try socks on or whatever else you want, and just sort of experience the difference in the vibration, and whether, you know, even wearing shoes, whether that soaks the vibration up for you. So it's just literally experimenting there. As I say, I use these bowls not for sound therapy purposes, because that's not my area of expertise, but certainly for sound exploration. And of course these instruments are so wonderful when you want to talk about listening. I mean, waiting for that resonance to end before then you say something else or you create another sound. So it allows people to understand about being present in a space without really doing anything, but yet internally observing this extraordinary kind of vibration that is there. So it's quite powerful from that point of view. But anyway, there we are. Well, that's it for today's video, and as always, links to my social media channels and website are listed in the description below so that you can keep up to date with my latest news and events. And please don't forget to like this video and do leave me a comment so that I know what you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I post. Take care and see you soon.